Not every plane crash begins with a warning. Sometimes, the first sign of danger appears only seconds before impact. Welcome back to Military Expert, Aviation Accidents Explained. In this video, cameras captured the moments when routine flights turned into emergencies. We'll examine what went wrong, the decisions pilots made under extreme pressure, and what investigators later uncovered. Some crews found a way out. Others ran out of altitude, time, or options. Let's begin. March 26, 2026, at Scone Airport in Australia. A Supermarine Spitfire Mark IX was practicing for an upcoming air show. During landing, its landing gear was not fully extended. The gear collapsed at touchdown, substantially damaging the aircraft. The pilot was not injured. The ATSB has not confirmed why the gear remained partly extended. The lesson? Always confirm that the landing gear is fully down and locked before touchdown. July 24th, 2010, at Emmen Air Base in Switzerland. A Rutan Long EZ was returning to land during an air show. On short final, the pilot noticed that the nose gear was still retracted and began a go-around. While extending the gear, the aircraft rolled left, stalled, and struck the ground. The main landing gear was torn off, and the aircraft slid into the grass. The passenger was unhurt, and the pilot left hospital that evening. The lesson? Complete the landing checks early. During a go-around, control and airspeed must come before changing the aircraft's configuration.
Thank you very much.
June 3rd, 2023, at Geneseo Airport in New York. The Fairchild C-123K, known as Thunder Pig, was landing during the Geneseo Air Show. In gusty crosswinds, the aircraft veered right off the grass runway and rolled onto softer ground. Its right wing dropped dangerously close to the surface. The crew regained control and taxied back without reported injuries or damage. No official probable cause was issued. The lesson? Crosswind control must continue throughout the entire landing roll, especially on a grass runway.
That's why we have a lot of safety here with the distance from the runway and the wind. That all is all grass that's actually taxiable, so don't worry about that. You can take a look at the airplane and just make sure that everything's okay.
February 27th, 2026, at El Alto International Airport in Bolivia. A Bolivian Air Force C-130 Hercules was arriving from Santa Cruz with newly printed banknotes for the central bank. The aircraft approached runway 28 too fast, touched down late, and initially contacted the runway on its nose gear. Water and ice from a hailstorm severely reduced braking. The Hercules overran the runway and struck more than 20 vehicles. 23 people were killed, and 37 were injured. Investigators found a chain of operational errors, incorrect runway information, and severe weather conditions. The lesson is clear. If an approach is unstable, go around. A contaminated runway leaves no margin for a fast, late touchdown.
Se cayó un avión. No se sabe.
February 26th, 2026, at Pensacola International Airport in Florida. A Diamond DA-42 Twin Star developed a landing gear problem. The right main gear would not extend, despite repeated attempts. The crew chose to land on runway 26, with all landing gear retracted, and shut down both engines before touchdown. The aircraft slid to a stop. Both pilots were safe and received precautionary medical checks. The exact technical failure has not been officially identified. The lesson? Use the emergency checklist. Take time to prepare and commit to a stable, controlled landing. February 3rd, 2026, at Hawke's Bay Airport near Napier, New Zealand. An instructor and student were practicing touch-and-go landings in a Cessna 152. After the second touch-and-go, the nose wheel was found damaged. During the emergency landing on runway 16, the nose gear collapsed. Both pilots were unhurt, and the aircraft received minor damage. The cause of the initial nose wheel damage has not been officially published. The lesson: after an abnormal touchdown, stop the exercise and inspect the aircraft before continuing. February 1st, 2026, Trevelin Airfield, Chubut, Argentina. A Piper Super Cub was landing during a short takeoff and landing competition. As it slowed down, the tail rose and the plane flipped onto its roof. The pilot walked away unhurt, but the aircraft was badly damaged. Officials have not confirmed exactly why it overturned. For tailwheel pilots, touchdown is only half the job. Smooth braking and full control during the rollout are critical. January 22nd, 2026, at Nice Airport in southern France. A Luxair -8400 was approaching when a sensor warned that the right main landing gear might not be locked. The crew went around, completed the checklist, and shut down the right engine as a precaution. The aircraft landed safely. Everyone on board was unharmed. The gear was locked, but its sensor had given a false warning. Even when a warning may be false, crews must treat it as real. January 10th, 2026, in Pipa, Colombia. A Piper Navajo took off from runway 05 but lost height and crashed about 2 minutes later. The aircraft caught fire after impact. All 6 people on board were killed, including Colombian singer Yesung Jimenez. Investigators have not yet confirmed the exact cause. At high-altitude airports, thin air reduces aircraft performance. Every takeoff needs a clear safety margin. January 7th, 2026, at Ashatli Park in Russia's Perm region. A Robinson R-44 was flying low over the recreation center when it struck a zipline cable. The helicopter lost control and crashed. The pilot and passenger were both killed. Investigators have not yet published a final cause. Cables can be almost invisible from the cockpit. Before flying at low altitude, the route and every known obstacle must be checked. January 7th, 2026, at Lake Gregory in Sri Lanka. A Cessna Caravan seaplane touched down in gusty crosswinds, lost directional control, and veered toward the shore. The pilot tried to take off again, but the right wing struck the water. No passengers were on board. Both pilots escaped, one with minor injuries. The aircraft was badly damaged. The final cause has not been confirmed. In gusty conditions, an unstable water approach calls for a go-around before touchdown. January 2nd, 2026, near Vinebre, Tarragona, Spain. An EC-135 medical helicopter was approaching an injured cyclist when it struck power lines. Sparks flew, and the crew briefly lost control, but recovered and landed safely on a road. No one on board was injured. The helicopter lost part of its stabilizer. Why the wires were missed has not been officially explained. Even when every second matters, no landing area is safe until its wires and obstacles are identified.
¿Qué tío? Pues de milagro no ha explotado, ¿eh? ¿Qué hacen? ¿Qué hacen?
September 16th, 2011, at the Reno Air Races in Nevada. A modified P-51 Mustang suddenly pitched up, rolled inverted, and crashed into spectator seating. The pilot and 10 spectators were killed. More than 60 people were injured. The NTSB found worn lock nuts allowed the elevator trim tab to flutter and fail. Major modifications had not been properly tested. At racing speed, one loose fastener can become catastrophic in seconds.
Oh my God. We gotta get out of here. Get out of here. Let's go out. Oh my God.
March 3rd, 2024, in Tony, Alabama. An ultralight aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff near Op Reynolds Road. The pilot climbed out without help and was taken to hospital with minor injuries. No one else was hurt. No public report confirmed the cause. At low altitude, maintaining airspeed is critical because there may be no room to recover from a stall. August 28th, 2015, at Stewart Airport in Newburgh, New York. A Giles G202 was practicing an airshow routine when its tail separated during a climbing roll. The aircraft crashed, killing the pilot. The NTSB traced the failure to a weak bond between the horizontal stabilizer and fuselage, caused by poor bonding during construction and aerobatic loads. In aerobatic aircraft, critical structural bonds must be inspected before hidden defects become fatal. December 16th, 2025, in Barreiros, Brazil. An unregistered ultralight was returning to an unapproved landing area when the pilot lost control and crashed. The pilot, the town's mayor, survived with a broken leg and other injuries. It was his second ultralight accident in 8 days. The final cause has not been confirmed. Unregistered aircraft and unapproved airfields can bypass important safety checks before a flight even begins. October 25th, 2025, at Coroa do Avião Aerodrome in Igaraçu, Brazil. During an air show, a Vans RV-4 was performing deliberate ground loops when its propeller struck the ground. The aircraft suffered minor damage, but the pilot walked away unhurt. A display maneuver is not harmless just because the aircraft stays on the ground. Propeller clearance can disappear in seconds. May 19th, 2020, near Lee Summit, Missouri. A Beechcraft twin Bonanza lost power in its left engine while returning to the airport. Unable to reach the runway, the pilot landed on Interstate 470 between moving traffic. The aircraft hit several signs, but no one was injured. The engine failure was confirmed, but the technical cause was never published. With little altitude left, keeping control mattered more than reaching the runway. June 27th, 2019, at Ketchikan Harbor in Alaska. A de Havilland Beaver float plane landed parallel to an ocean swell. It skipped, the right float dug into the water, and the aircraft swung left before tipping nose down and starting to sink. The pilot helped 4 passengers escape, and a fishing boat picked them up. No one was injured. Investigators found no mechanical failure. Loss of directional control during landing caused the water loop.